Hey guys, so today I'm sitting down to film just a quick video. This is just not going to be anything that I've made notes on or anything like that. It was just something that I was talking to my husband about, and then I was like, maybe I should just film a video about this really quickly here. I have to go lead worship here in just a little while, so I don't have a lot of time, but we'll try to make it quick. So there's been a lot of controversy, and before I film this video, I want to just do this quick disclaimer. If you don't agree with me, because I'm sure a lot of people that see this video will not agree with me. If you don't agree with me, there is no need to leave any comment about if you want to leave your opinion, that's fine, but don't leave any hate comments. That's not what this is for. It's not what it's about. You can have your opinion, I'll have mine, and that's good. But anyway, so I read a lot of stuff, I hear a lot of stuff, I have for years about pastors being rich, this and that, with all the mega churches that are out there now. It's something that you hear about a lot. Now, a little background on me, I do work full-time in ministry. I'm a worship leader. I just want to tell you that, to give you a little backstory, I've worked in the church for a long time, and I've been in the church my whole life. So I know a little bit about this, and in this video, I'm not going to get into church's finances or my personal church's situation or anything like that. It's not going to be really about that. But I know many of you will probably understand, especially those of you that go to church and those of you that work in ministry. So you hear a lot about, Pastor Joel Osteen is actually one of them that you hear about the most, and that's kind of going to be focused on a little bit today. This is in no way a video bashing him, just to clarify that. We're going to get into this, and you'll see that I'm very much not doing that. I really like him. And so anyway, let's talk a little bit about it. So I always read, and I just did earlier today, which kind of sparked this a little bit more in me, but I always read, churches should be taxed. We should tax the church. And I won't really, again, get into a whole lot of financial stuff. I will say that the majority of churches out there are not mega churches, so we have to keep that in mind. If you don't go to church, you may just see Lakewood or Elevation or things like that that you see online or on TV or whatever, and you may think that that is what church is. That's every church everywhere, and those churches are incredible. Elevation Church is one of, I think, the coolest churches. Pastor Stephen Furtick is incredible, but that is not what every church looks like. There are a lot of very small churches that are fighting to keep the lights on, and those churches still go out and they feed homeless people, and they still go out and do incredible things with the money that they do have. They do awesome things with their money, and I know as well Lakewood and Elevation and larger churches do that as well. But anyway, so that just kind of settles that. Obviously, you see my opinion on that there. But what really frustrates me is whenever we get in these taxing the church, don't tax the church conversations, that's a conversation in and of itself. But whenever we have those conversations, people always want to jump to, well, Joel Osteen's rich. So why is he rich? If we tax the church, they just, go back and forth. And it always comes back to him. And I think that's just so, he does have, Lakewood is, I believe, the largest church in America. I believe I actually looked that up, and they are the largest. They have different campuses and things like that. They are a very large, very successful church. And in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with that, right? That's the goal. You want to be a big church. Why? Not because of the money, not because of whatever, the fame, whatever comes out of it. You want to be a big church because you're reaching people, right? The more people you have there, that's the more people you're reaching. That's the reality of it. So if you have 5 people versus you have, 1 million in your church, I don't know if there's a random number, then obviously you're reaching 1 million people. So that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know Lakewood does things and goes out and reaches more. And I know that they're an awesome church. And I believe that Pastor Joel Osteen is an awesome pastor. And so there's a lot of controversy about him in general. But I believe that it all comes down to the fact that people are mad because he has some money. And so I want to talk about that a little bit and clarify a few things. Now, obviously, I don't know Joel and Victoria Osteen. I don't know them on a personal level. So I'm not defending them personally. I think they're great. I'm sure they're great people. But as far as the work that he does, I do know, because I've researched and they're open about this, that he no longer takes any type of salary from Lakewood, which to me, that's just, I have a salary from the church that I'm at. Most people that work within a church, you are on salary or paid in some way, for what you do. And I think that's great. I believe, that God wants that for people. I believe that God doesn't want people to struggle. I think if you're working in a church or working anywhere, if you're doing the work, you should be, given the payment or whatever for that, because obviously you need money to live, right? You're not really going to be able to survive and continue doing work for the kingdom of God if you actually can't buy food or anything. So I think that God wants his children to be provided for, and I believe that. But, and there's biblical references on that, but we won't go there today. We're just going to talk strictly opinion today. But anyway, so, he no longer takes a salary from Lakewood. Now, the majority and I did see what his salary used to be. I'm not going to get into that. If you want to research it, you can. It's not as much as what a lot of people may even expect, but he no longer takes any type of salary. The majority of his money, and you can even research this, you can actually see factual things about this, is because of the books that he's written. He is a very successful author, and he writes a lot of books, and he's made a lot of money out of that. So, think about your favorite author, right? If you're a reader, maybe think about your favorite author or your favorite athlete, right? Or whatever it may be. Favorite actor, actress, musician, a really large, well-known, famous musician. Think about them. And then understand the fact that they too are most likely rich. Like, that's what I think we don't put together, that our favorite singer is probably got some pretty good money in the bank, right? And maybe not always. I mean, it just depends on, their level of sometimes fame, sometimes whatever, level of how well known they are, whatever it may be. They have very good money. I mean, you would be, if you're not into sports, you would actually be mind blown, I would say, if you look into what some of these athletes are making per day or per week, it is outrageous numbers. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. When I say outrageous, I don't mean, I'm mad about it. I just mean it's crazy, like it blows my mind. But good for them. They're doing their thing and they're making their money, and I think that's cool. They came into some money. I'm not mad at them for that. I'm not mad at them because they have more money than I do. It's cool. Some of these YouTubers, some of these people that do similar things to what I'm doing right now. I don't make good money off of this, but some people are millionaires off of this, and I think that's so cool. But my point here is, I don't understand why it is that if a pastor or a worship leader, there are very successful worship leaders out there as well. I won't say any names for that one. But there are very rich worship leaders out there too. Whatever they may be. If a pastor or somebody that works in ministry, worship pastor, whatever it may be, they're all pastors, whatever it may be, if they make some money, whether it's in the church or out of the church, that's looked at as being this bad thing. If a pastor, worship pastor, youth pastor, whatever it may be, has a really nice house, that's looked at as being terrible. Yet people will go look at, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal's house, that's just a random name, and think, oh my gosh, that's so cool, he's got so much money. Michael Jordan, oh, he's so cool, he's got so much money. But why is that so different? People that are working in ministry, I think people sometimes get this misconception that they're not working hard, right? They're somehow not deserving it. They're not earning that money, right? They're not really doing anything. And that is such a false misconception that people have. Church jobs are by no means easy. And Joel Osteen is running Lakewood, which is the largest church in America, which I'm sure takes a lot of time. And he isn't taking a salary because he realizes that he's made a good amount of money off of other things that he's done in his life, so he's not taking that salary. So I don't really understand, even if he was taking a salary, why we're so wadded up over it. I really don't get why people get so wadded up about Joel Osteen or whoever it may be. I know there's been a little bit of controversy I've heard lately about Pastor Stephen Furtick, and I love him. He's one of my favorites. But I don't see what the big deal is if people that work full-time in ministry or whatever, if they come into some money, maybe they write a good book, make a good album, and sell some of it, make some really great money. I don't see what the big deal is about that. I believe that God, gives these people abilities, and yeah, some people get more rich than other people do. That's life. That's the way that it works. I work in ministry and I'm not rich, and I'm not going to look at Stephen Furtick or any of those people and think, oh, I wish I had that kind of money. That's them. They're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. We're all trusting God. And I think that these men and women are doing awesome things with the gifts and with the abilities that God has given them. Many times these pastors and I know other, people in different fields of work do this as well. I'm not arguing that. But I know many times pastors, worship pastors, whatever it is, they leave their family for long periods of time. Evangelists go and travel and they miss out on a lot of family stuff because they're trying to tell people who Jesus is. If they run into some money, I don't see the issue there. I don't see why we're still arguing the same thing. We're beating this dead horse when, number one, we don't know the facts. Second, some of us have never worked in a church, don't understand what it's like to work in a church. We say let's tax the church when we don't even understand that would make so many of them just close down. And we have these opinions that we have because we've read them on Facebook. And there's nothing more annoying to me than people who have opinions because of Facebook. I don't have my opinion about this because I read it somewhere. You need to form your own opinion about things. If your opinion is that Joel Osteen should not be rich, then that's your opinion, if that's truly your opinion. But let's actually use our brain, think about things, and not just jump into, oh, pastors shouldn't make any money, because we don't really know what we're talking about. And we don't really know why Joel Osteen even has money. Let's research that first. Where did his money come from? You can actually read numbers of what his books have brought in. What is he supposed to do about that? Because he's a pastor, he's just supposed to throw the money away or something. He does things with it. That's another thing we don't know. What all kind of organizations does Joel Osteen give to? Do you know? Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything he gives to. I wonder if Joel Osteen goes out and feeds the homeless people. You think he does? I'd say he probably does, but we don't know that. He doesn't broadcast that, I'm sure. But I wonder if he does do that. I wonder what kind of awesome things Joel Osteen keeps running with his money. You don't know, and I don't know. So let's not judge people based on the fact that they have money. People always want to go into the verse in the Bible, oh, the love of money is the root of all evil. They always want to say the money is the root of all evil, that's what the verse says. The verse is the love of money, not just the money. Money is not the root of all evil, right? Now, if Joel Osteen started acting crazy and thinking he was just something and loving money and only doing things for money, and he only ever, wrote a book because he was going to be a millionaire off it, that's when it starts to become a problem. But money is not the root of evil. Having money, being rich here on earth, means really nothing. It's not, going to send you into hell because you ran into some money because you have a gift and you used it. That's not what it means. It means the love of money is the root of all evil, not money is the root of all evil. And people get that so confused and so twisted, and they just have this weird perception of it. So that's my opinion on the whole thing. Do I think that God is mad because people make money? No. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's on their own path. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Stop being mad about things that you don't understand. Research things. Educate yourself. Don't just listen to what the news says or what Facebook says or what your mom and dad say or what your best friend says. Research things for yourself. Figure stuff out on your own. Form your own opinion. Maybe go to a church. Maybe see what churches are like and what they go through and what they face financially. Maybe kind of get a glimpse of that with your own eyes and kind of see that these people are doing incredible stuff with what very little they're given. And I think churches need more credit, and pastors oftentimes do as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there today. In my opinion, again, I know people are going to hate this video. There's no need to leave a hate comment. I've argued with people before. It really doesn't do any good. I have my opinion. You have your opinion. And let's just keep it at that. But thank you guys for watching today's video. I just need to get that off my chest. Let me know if you do have any thoughts. I'd love to hear thoughts, as long as they're not hatefully driven thoughts about me or about any of these people I've mentioned. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Remember, Jesus loves you. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys very soon.